Hola, ¿cómo está? Me llamo Jeremy. We love some Bad Bunny around here. Some Banda too. Oh, I thought Olin was gonna turn the radio up, but he didn't. Anyway, so. What's the day? Oh, we got 2 in this month. You did it! Congratulations, Grinder TV, Brian. You did a good job. So anyway, we're here. We got chefs. Tahoe is what these things are called. And we are hoping that this is like our smoothest thing ever because we're doing an LS in here. We've got a 5.3 that Don Hardy built us, but the really cool thing is we've got a wiring harness that Modern Vintage did for us that's a plug and play. Hopefully in the next video we can prove it to you that it was. But so right now, what we did is we pulled everything from under the hood out. When we pulled the engine out, we put all the wiring out and we sent that over to John. And John modified the factory harness and we did a couple little different sensors to the engine that the LS would normally have. And we plugged everything back in, and the only thing we had to wire really was the batteries, which we could have used the factory wires, but we wanted to clean that up a little bit. So clean up some wiring. While it was down, Frank's been painting it. So this has gotten scuffed and painted really quick. A little bit of minor body work. Painted the calipers. We did QA1 suspension on it previously. We cleaned the frame up. Even though it still has some texture to it, doesn't look the best, but it looks better than a rusty frame. So obviously putting a new grill on it, new bumper, cleaning some of that stuff up, no more chrome on the outside. So bumpers get painted gray, grills going body color, door handles are getting painted, yada yada. So 2 weeks running and driving? Olin says yes. Yes, we have headers. They're supposed to ship tomorrow, Jim said. Okay. So we were supposed to already have headers, but we don't have them yet. But we'll have them next week, maybe end of this week. Out back, a while ago we did QA1 coilovers with Travis over at AZ Pro Performance's React suspension. So this is a 4-link Panhard bar coilovers. These are, just like the front, these are the AZ Pro Performance brakes. Obviously they've been on here for a little bit. This truck was in New York for a while. But Frank just painted calipers. We'll clean up the frame, clean up underneath there so it looks nice when we put the wheels back on. Because he curb checked one of the wheels too, not to throw anybody under the bus, MW. This one just showed up. It's been on the books for a little bit. We've got all the parts here for it with the exception of the headers, which are supposed to be here this week as well. Ultimate headers for both of these trucks. But basically this one, the build of this got interrupted and brought to us because we've kind of got the Gen 3 Coyote and 10-speed transmissions down. So this old clunker of a 302 or 289 or wherever the hell it is, I don't know, is coming out. And we're gonna do body lift on this thing, build some fender extensions, and drop in a Gen 3 Coyote, 10-speed. It'll be our first time using the factory transfer case, so that'll be new. Normally we do an Atlas, but and then look for this at Barrett Jackson. He's selling this. So let's move over here. We have another Bronco. So this Bronco hasn't been touched since the last video. That's it. No, we do have, in case you missed the last one, we're working on tailgate latch kit for the Broncos, just like our C10 kit, but it'll be available for the Broncos. We finally got the dash in, so we're gonna shave that and get that installed. And then really all we have left to do, other than those two things, is panel gap this thing, and then it goes over to Frank. We have Roman's truck here. This is a square body, obviously. The cab is over at Frank's. They body worked and painted the firewall already, painted the Hart Fab inner fenders. Yeah, I think that's it. It's getting bedline and then we'll come back and put it on. Make this thing run and drive. It'll stay primer on the outside for a little bit. It is supposed to come back at a paint job, but as you've already seen before, if you watch our videos, bare brakes, Curry axle, QA1 suspension, front and rear. This is a 525 horsepower LS3 with a 6L80 transmission, one of our transcoolers and transcooler mounts. We sell these on our website. Sell those, they bolt right in, factory holes. So if you need a transcooler, we've actually sold quite a few of them lately. So They work well, and they're built out of aluminum. Not that it matters too much for heat dissipation, but it's lighter. Manny's truck. Manny's truck is getting close to the finish line. We have inner fenders in here, or splash shields, front and back. We're gonna put batteries on that side. So we did quarter turn fasteners on that one. So you can just get your Allen wrench, quarter turn, pops off, get to the batteries easy. Chris is working on the hatch right now. So we're just getting the Dakota Digital actuators, which by the way are also on our website. You can go there and buy them. That'll lift the bed floor up. We've got the rear bumper fit. Did something different with the bumpers on these. So this is the smoothie bumpers. So what that does is it gets rid of the big pocket for the license plate. It tucks in way tighter around the bed sides and it fits in there better. But he wanted to still have a little bit of a factory look, so we cut in the holes for the factory bumper bolts. So it's got the Castle bolts on there. So it kind of blends the classic and the modern together. So exhaust is done on this. And so we got to mount the batteries, do that opening, and then do our sheet metal back here. We're going to make charge ports and plugins for battery tenders, and then a storage compartment. And then this thing will go over to Frank as well. Everything under here you've seen. This has all been done. I don't know if you've seen, have you seen the Resto Mod AC vents? So we kind of took a spin on the factory, flushed those in, but instead of having a piece of plastic, we made them nice. This drive shaft tunnel and transmission tunnel was done without a drive shaft in the truck. So I don't know how you do that. But obviously we had to cut it out to make room, and now we'll build a proper one. So note to other people out there, you can't build a drive shaft tunnel until you have a drive shaft in it, because it doesn't clear. So now it will. Let's go up front real quick. We have John Vaughn seats. John Vaughn seats here that we just picked up from Dominic yesterday. And they are flashy. Not overdone, but in true John Vaughn style. We'll go look at that truck here in a minute. My truck, nothing's changed. Still waiting on a chassis. Soon. Let's just say soon. Olin's rat rod. Pyle's put in like an hour and a half on the exhaust. And it's going to be kind of a wild looking setup. Olin's been working on the roof. So he's got a lot of the roof in, and then it's getting a sliding rag top. So that's almost there. Jim, the K5 Blazer was up there last time. It's still up there. We're still waiting on coilovers and a gas tank. Roadster shop. Maybe Roadster shop could get us some shocks, because it's been, I don't know, like a year and a half. So maybe one day we'll get shocks. And then over here, we have Stillwell's truck, which we had cleaned and shined up and everything and ready to go home. And then Olin decided that he wanted to work on his car. So he went to Goodwill and bought this sheet, which is actually really soft. It's a nice sheet. So he wouldn't get it dirty on the weekend when he was working on it. So Brian, behind the camera, and I, today we're going to go film a wrap-up video on this. And this video will probably be out before that video. So we'll do this video first. So watch this video, then subscribe to the channel. And then you'll get alerted if you have notifications on as to when that video is posted. But we're going to do that wrap-up video today. So look for it soon. New bumper for Chef's Tahoe. Gotta weld up some holes, give that to Frank. Speaking of Frank, let's go see what he's doing. So we have Marlin's truck, which has all been stripped and put in a DTM primer. So they're getting ready to start bodywork on this. But before they did bodywork, they stripped everything off of it and made sure all the metal was clean and did a direct to metal primer on it. So now they can start scuffing this thing up and putting body filler. Let's not call it Bondo, body filler. John Vaughn's truck is under the cover. It's all assembled and running and driving. So I think they're in the booth right now actually painting the inside of the doors. So then the doors can go on, then all the fenders can go on, but We did drive it over here, so it's technically running and driving. This is Roman's cab. So Roman decided that he wanted to paint the inside, so that way when we put the whole truck back together and wire it, it doesn't have to come apart again. So the doors are stripped. We've got new vent windows coming from Precision Replacement Products. We're gonna be like the beta tester for the first set. So they're gonna be doing a rebuilt wing windows for these, like brand new, I shouldn't say rebuilt, brand new wing windows for these. And we'll get the first set, stick them in there, see how they fit. Hopefully they fit perfect the first time and we could just leave them in there. But yellow's going away. It'll all be painted inside, so that way once we get it running and driving, it never has to come back apart again. Frank already did the body work, painted the firewall. Now the inside will get painted, then the inside floor will get bedlined, then underneath will get bedlined, and then we'll put it back on. In the booth, John Vaughn's doors, all the body work on the inside of the doors is done. So those are gonna get sprayed white right now to match the inside of the truck. And then the doors can go on, and then the fenders can go on, and then the cowl pieces can go on. And maybe that's, all right, so that's it for now. Brian's gonna hang around for a little bit. Actually, we're gonna go do Stillwell's wrap-up video, but then someone's on their way with Chris Kratos' cab from Sandblast. So if he stays here long enough, and we can put that on the chassis. Because we didn't talk about Kratos' chassis because it doesn't look any different. But maybe before the end of the day, if Brian stays long enough, then we'll have a cab on a chassis. So we'll wrap it up after we do that.
Are installing the cab on Chris Kratos' GSI chassis here. We are running a T56 transmission on this, on Chris Kratos'. So we're gonna have to cut the floor out for the transmission and the shifter and everything. So that's what we are working on now. All right, guys, cab's on. Stay tuned for more.